could tell us what to wear. You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down. Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a brace, boy. Yeah. That's a brace, little man. Break it down. Degeneration up. Degeneration. You think you can tell me what to do?
Yo, Royal
What
Rumble
up?
after party, impromptu after party for this year's Royal Rumble because it felt like one of the biggest ones in a very long time. And I'm talking about the men's. That's why I'm so hyped. The women's always delivers because there's not as much history, but this men's Rumble felt like you better pay attention.
Absolutely.
We had to come on and talk about it. Should we just get into the men's Rumble because I feel like it just happened and I'm so shocked.
Yeet.
Yeet. Should we do it one time?
She couldn't get the words out.
What's that, after party or post-mortem? Yo.
No, this is the after party. This ain't no. Why would it be post mortem?
Oh man, they're going crazy right now on Twitter right now. Like it's going nuts about what happened.
What was so bad about it? I don't get it. Like,
I don't think anything was bad. I think people expected Punk to win. Like was the big thing. I did too. And so now it's that whole I have no vote of confidence in Triple H. He can't let things from 10 years ago go. I'm like, all right.
See, I feel the opposite. For me, this is after party because, like, honestly, if you've been paying attention to the shows, meaning Raw, SmackDown, you knew where this was headed. I mean, this Jey Uso run right now, it's basically Becky Lynch 2018, 2019. This is Daniel Bryan Yes movement. This is Kofi Mania, where we're at a point where it's either you're gonna do something with him for real and it is his time, or we're gonna fucking riot. And there's gonna be no two ways about it. And the fans were getting fed up with Jay coming close and losing the title, coming close and losing the title. And if you pay attention to those black and golden eras in NXT where Triple H, they build them for a reason. It kind of feels like Johnny Gargano where he kept losing and all of a sudden he finally got the moment where going into this Rumble, yes, it's super loaded, but there's been only one main guy. And it's the guy that keeps coming out with Travis Scott and all the rappers. And you see Michael Cole jump on top of the table, trying to do the yeet movement, trying to do the handshakes, even though he's so offbeat and uncoordinated, but we still love you, Cole. To where it was going to be Jey Uso. It made perfect sense. Punk does not need to win a damn Rumble. Roman's already won multiple. Seth's already won it. Drew's already won it. Jay really needed it this year, where it just made all the sense. And Charlotte on the other end, I mean, when I say I call this. Charlotte just made perfect sense. Coming off of an injury like that, you don't want to expose her to re-injury too soon, or you don't want to rush her back, especially when it's an ACL, MCL, meniscus. That's like legitimately serious. So you save her for the Rumble, one of your biggest pay-per-views where all eyes is going to be on her, but it gives her a full year plus to rehab and make sure it's 100%, even 110%. And you also put her in a match like this to protect her because you have other people in there that, you know, you're not doing moonsaults off the top of the rope. You're not doing the figure eight yet. You're not doing some of these high profile moves that you normally do. It's just throw someone over the top rope, the end.
No, that's true. I think her being in it, this was the only place she could return. But her winning, I'm like, Charlotte could have won. Charlotte could have won Elimination Chamber and did the Tiffy thing, and they could have solidified whatever Rhea's direction was going. Like, I could have went either way. I don't care about her winning. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I'm just like, you could have, like, because what's Rhea about to do? Nia? No. Bailey? Maybe? Like, there's no surefire direction for Rhea. I mean, they'll figure it out with the Elimination Chamber, but I think it was easier for Charlotte to not win twice, go to the elimination, chamber, whoop ass, and then face Tiffy.
Mm.
That would have been more fun to me. She would have went through a little bit of shit instead of pulling up, eliminating 8 people, and then popping out, pointing to the sign. I love it though. I love Charlotte. I like it, but
But then
they
again,
went the
that's
difficult route.
always but then again, that's always been Charlotte's character, which is I pop out, show up, I win. Yeah, Charlotte wins.
Mhm.
LOL. This is what I do. This is how I became
No, exactly.
titles,
That's her
titles,
thing.
Here's the
titles.
thing, though. The thing about Charlotte Flair, if we're being honest, Charlotte Flair is Shawn Michaels to Sasha Banks being Bret Hart. And when you
Yeah.
really look at it as like as great as they was, Bret Hart left and Sasha left. So now everything that could have been either way, as far as the greatest of all time, Charlotte's going to get all those records. Charlotte is the one to be the woman who's going to solidify this women's division. And I am totally hyped for it. I don't mind her winning this Royal Rumble because it didn't feel as forced. The last one, we just like watched the 2020 Royal Rumble. That felt like that was everybody knows. That was supposed to be Shayna Baszler's night. This didn't feel like that. This felt like, okay, the queen has come back. She worked with some new blood and she had to reclaim her territory. And now she's gonna get in the ring. I personally, I know we'll get to that. We got weeks and weeks ahead of WrestleMania. I don't think she's gonna win it yet, but I am so excited for this. And as far as Jey Uso's concerned, Justin hit everything on the head. That's why I miss streaming with my brother, because one of the things he brought up is just like, we just pay attention to the shows. This guy's been it. Yes, we would have loved for CM Punk to win, but then guess what? If we got what we wanted, what was we gonna say? What would we have said? Like, oh, we got what we wanted. That feeling, we'll never be able to duplicate that feeling. I'm pretty sure each one of us was all jumping around. I know me and P was excited. I FaceTime my son because he's a huge Jey Uso fan. And for him to have that moment, like, this was one of those things, seeing all my group chats light up because nobody saw it coming. And that's what the Royal Rumble is supposed to be. We could play about lack of surprises sometimes, but we're in a position where the roster's so heavy, we don't need that many. A couple here and there is cool. And I thought this is, to me, the greatest Royal Rumble probably since 2001. I can't wait to rewatch it.
No, this one was fire. Jay definitely. The story is there for Jay. He keeps losing. Everybody keeps wondering when he's going to get his moment. Here it is. Like, this is what Roman planned. Like, this is what the whole entire
I like what you said there.
Story was supposed to be. This is what Roman planned. This is what the story's supposed to be. It was gonna be. I was more interested in how they were gonna navigate all those big personalities and characters being in the Royal Rumble when it really could have went anyway. Because
did you feel the star power though, Pablo? Like, did you feel it? Did you feel the mana when all those stars was in there together? Did you?
It was crazy. Feel it? Because I tweeted and I was like, to see someone from like almost every generation that I've been watching wrestling in there doing something, whether it's like AJ or Punk or Seth or Roman, John Cena, and this damn big.
I'm so glad
music back. Oh yeah, he kept his CFO. Money music,
Logan, I'm so mad at him.
I think that's the only issue with the Rumble period was the music entrances, because I'm like, y'all, this whole event is about the pops that you get when you figure out who's coming out. And for me to sit there in the women's Rumble and be like, for like a good 15 of them,
minute, like, wait, who is this? And it does take a lot out of it. I think this is the one that shows that I think WWE needs to pay attention. Like, maybe I need to do a better job with the music.
Because it just feels like every song felt like generic entrance 001, generic entrance 007, like every
001.
Creator Player 1.
Yeah, even their Titantrons. I'm like, all right, y'all, how many times are we gonna get people with just names slapped up on the screen with different color fonts, like different colors? I've been like, oh my god, like I didn't even know the bird was coming out. I don't know that lady music. Like, I was like, oh, okay, the bird's here. Like, all right, Lyra's here. Lyra Valkyria.
Not the bird, Pablo.
If you're already mid and then your music also doesn't give you any type of recognition.
Doesn't give you any type of,
and you're a champion, like, that's a problem.
Key person, Raquel, because she came out, even though I said, where's Big Back? She came out and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh, okay, there she goes. There she goes. I'm like, who is this upon entrance? Like, there go Dom Mysterio Light over there. I was like, who? What?
Oh, man.
Or
like,
even someone like
that have distinctive music.
For me, it was like when Finn came out, and Finn came out to no
Bruh.
reaction, and some of it was like, "Yo, what's up with this music?" And then I'm scrolling through social media, like, "Yeah, they just changed his music for Rumble." So it's like, why would you change his music when we get so used to his own like Judgment Day remix, and then he gets this new music that no one knows, and we're sitting there like, crickets, crickets, crickets. Oh shit, that's Finn.
Yeah, they did.
Like, why would you set them up like that?
They did so many people a
That's true.
disservice. So many people a disservice. Like there's a good list of the women especially, but some of the men, I feel bad for them. Even all the Judgment Day, they have the same sounding fucking music, so I don't know which one's
And
coming
that-
up until
And
Titantron
it's
pops
not,
up. And then they have
it's not memorable.
no.
as-
I'm like Damien Dom. Y'all could have interchanged them because they have the same sounding music for like the first 5 seconds. I was like, who is this? Oh, okay, there it is, Titantron.
That's so
Hey
true.
guys,
That-
Hey.
I just want to say I should have bet money on my winner
Yeah,
because
you
I
should've-
definitely called it.
something.
Charlotte
And you know
or
it's-
Jay?
Girl, you know I'm
Right.
never voting for Charlotte. Never in life, ever.
Man,
Um.
what she do to you?
that sounds like a personal feud.
Why you hate dog?
Anywho,
Right?
on Jay, and I definitely should have bet money. And y'all know for a fact, y'all know me, I never ever go against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns always is on top for me. He's always a winner in everything that I say and do. And this year, I just for whatever reason, I just felt like it's not Roman's time. It's not Roman's time. We're going to give it to Jey Uso. And I'm so glad that I'm still not a liar. So glad. So now for the women, whatever. It's just for me, it just was something else given to her again. And that's just how I feel about it. But kudos, I guess. Fingers clapped for Charlotte. I don't care.
Like I
No,
said,
Charlotte's
I'm
the
happy
greatest.
for her. I'm happy for
She's
her winning.
good.
There's just other ways they could have told this story, but we already know where it's going, and I've been saying it for months. I'm excited for her and Tiffy. I don't care. And
Yeah,
and
I mean-
I hope she loses.
Yeah.
I hope she loses. I want her to sweat for 17.
That would actually
Me
be
too.
amazing because you
I need
already
Yes.
story for
came in.
17.
You're already back on top. You got that opportunity. Boom, you're Charlotte Flair. But if you actually pass the torch or lose at Mania, I would have so much respect for Charlotte
No,
Flair.
I
In
feel like
general,
with her,
like,
they've told a few good stories, right? The Sasha story originally, where they met in the first Hell in the Cell, that was a good story. But
Mhm.
every other time Charlotte has won her 16, I feel like it's either been okay or meh stories. This is the
Because
chance
it's been
for
given
Triple
to
H
her.
flex.
It wasn't
Yeah,
like an
this-
earned situation.
Exactly. So this is his chance to flex for her and John Cena on telling a really good story for both of them to hit 17. Then it becomes who gets 18 first.
Yeah. I
Oh,
already
that's
knew John
cool.
Cena wasn't winning Rumble.
Well, here's the thing.
I
Here's the
love-
question. Everyone's saying Charlotte Tiffany. Are we sure we're getting that? Because I brought this up on Twitter. Like, there's two ways you can go. Charlotte and Tiffany is basically the OG Terminator versus the T-1000. And you facing off in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Where's the Spider-Man meme? But Charlotte and Rhea have faced each other twice. So to run it back a third time and complete that trilogy, you've only had a couple of trilogies at WrestleMania. You know, Rock and Stone Cold. If Cody and Roman finally decide to run it back for the third time, there's also your avenue right there where Charlotte has the first win. Rhea got her lick back at WrestleMania 39. Third one, who's really the baddest? And
But this
put
is what we
to
said
bed.
in the show. This is what me, Pablo, and P was talking about when it came down to what I said, Rhodes Reigns. That's what I said, Rhodes Reigns. It's like, yeah, they're 1-1, but we don't need it right now. Like, if we're gonna put
that
her,
can
we already
happen at
know
any
how far.
time.
Right, we already know how far and how good Charlotte and Rhea can go. But to have a vet like Charlotte and to have somebody new, I'm gonna say green in a sense because they never been toe to toe, but we know that she's not green. Like Tiffany Stratton, like give me that over Ripley Flair any day because you know you got the battle of the prettiest moonsault. Who really has the most prettiest moonsault? Like who really has like the stamina to go? And the way Charlotte has been flexing on Instagram before her promos and stuff has been coming out, and the way Tiffany has just been carrying herself like she's the queen because it's Tiffy time. Yes, give me Charlotte and Tiffany all WrestleMania. Should she win? No. But now we can see who's really the best of the best and the baddest of the baddest of them too, and we can have that carry on as well.
I agree,
yeah,
and
I
I think whoever Charlotte faces, I think she should lose to them. I think it
why
should
she
be
go
somebody
face?
that
Why she go
wants
face
to-
Julia?
Oh,
Yo,
that'd be
I,
good though.
I honestly wouldn't be mad at that because seeing the main roster girlies go to NXT nowadays it has a totally different feel. Because when she went to NXT and challenged Rhea, like that shit was such a dud, and of course it was the pandemic and it was a death.
And she didn't even go there.
True,
But
she was
that's
not-
the difference
not go-
between Charlotte and Rhea versus Cody and Roman. Like Cody and Roman have been 2 straight WrestleMania, so they did a third one this year. It's 3 straight. Versus with Charlotte and Rhea, they've had gaps in between because the first one was at WrestleMania 36, the second one was at WrestleMania 39, and then after Charlotte lost to Rhea, Charlotte went to the other brand. So they kept them away from each other. Remember, Charlotte's been gone for a year, so we've had time away from Charlotte and Rhea versus Cody and Roman, where it's been like 2 years of like the same story.
Yeah.
On top of
I get it. I
and
understand.
on top of also like what they've been doing on SmackDown with Tiffany and Nia, I kind of want that to have a proper conclusion. Then like we're gonna drop that story to insert Charlotte because they've been telling
They're
a
not
really good story for a while. Where
But Nia and Tiffany can definitely be ended over. They could be done by
It's
elimination
not happening.
chamber.
Nia already went to the transfer portal. She's on Raw.
Yeah,
It's not
she's on too. So we're probably not gonna see that come back around.
Me
To probably
seeing
like
that.
but then again, if she
I-
wins Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
and Charlotte picks Rhea, then boom.
Yeah, I still don't want it yet. Give me some time. I don't want it right now.
But that's one of the things that's been really good about WWE storytelling, that it doesn't have to happen instantaneously. Like
No.
we
Mhm.
if Nia and Tiffany face off 3 months from now, we're gonna understand the significance of like that story. But I don't want it to feel like, oh, we don't care about this anymore. Let's go off to Charlotte. I don't think it's gonna feel that way for some reason because no matter when Nia and Tiffany face off, we're gonna get it. And Tiffany's either gonna be champion or not, or she's feuding with Charlotte at the same time. Like either way, I think it's gonna be like done really well.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me why I don't want it is because I feel like it's because of injury and stuff. But Rhea's had 2 stories as champion, Becky and Liv, and the Liv shit went so long, and the Becky stuff was like beat Becky, she's gone, and that wasn't even like that was a WrestleMania build for sure. But like she can tell so many more stories before she gets back to Charlotte. Like there's so many people. There's people on Raw for her to. Bailey's over there now. I rather see that to be honest. I rather see Bailey Rhea right now than see Charlotte and Rhea go back at it. I want it again, but I'm like show us that Rhea can tell another story. She's only got 2 as champion.
So
Give me
true,
something
yeah.
else before you go back to her losing once and then winning once. Like give me
I love
something.
that you say that, Pablo, because
Go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
because Rhea is so popular that you forget if she's actually like in a feud because you're just so hyped to see her. But when you think about it, she hasn't really mixed it up with a lot of different people like you would think or would want her to be.
No, she's been fighting Liv and Big Back for a year at this point. Like
Well, Liv was the only
then
person who gave her a real feud. That's the unfortunate part. Like you said, it was Becky, but everybody else, she was built so strong. And she said that. She said, like, at SummerSlam, you believe that Liv, what she did, thanks to the help of the GOAT, Dominic Mysterio, beat her. You know, she would
Oh, brother, what the hell?
But now I'm like, you got that. You got the option, which they're not going to do right now. You got the option of Jordan Grace at this point. Like,
no,
please don't
Jordan
send her
Grace
to
going
NXT.
after Bianca.
Do not send her to
snatched
NXT. I don't
up.
care, but I just mean she has more options now that can be on Raw, that ain't just Liv, that can have a main event feud with Rhea, and Becky's not there. So like, there's at least
this leads to my point where this leads to where the ending of Women's Royal Rumble kind of was a drag for me because at least for the last 2 women to be standing, I wanted it to be at least Bailey and Charlotte. So that right there could have been something because it could have went either way because we can see again Charlotte and Rhea, or we can see Bailey and Rhea because Bailey and Rhea had that little standoff. I believe what was that on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown or whatever. Like they had that, and that's something that you do want to see because, like you said, Rhea's really been in a feud with Liv Morgan. Becky tucked her tail and kind of left. Sorry, Becky, I love you and all, but that's what you
Nah,
did.
stay going, stay going, stay going.
Yeah, like not stay gone, but yeah. So Rhea definitely, I feel like Bailey should have had that. I didn't even see Bailey get eliminated. I don't even know when that happened, and I'm just
At
like,
one
hold
point,
on.
Nia Jax eliminated, I think, like 6 women at the same time.
6 or 7 people.
Because there
Which
were
Yeah, I
a
saw
lot.
that part.
So can we? I know we focus a lot on the
It
winner.
was
but can we
after
get to
that
the
cluster
actual
that she
Rumble
Yeah,
eliminated.
match?
Bailey was still
Yes.
in the match because she gave Nia the side Russian leg sweep.
Yeah, Bailey was like final 5.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But how do we feel about the actual women's Royal Rumble match? So, Pablo, you were on the show this week. We had our predictions, our surprises, and stuff like that. There were not many legends or celebrity guests. We had Nikki Bella at number 30. We had Trish Stratus come back. And then we had Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte, who I think we all knew were coming. Jada Parker made her first appearance.
Hey,
How did y'all
And she
feel
had
about
no
the
pop.
actual Rumble match? Because people don't know the like, I don't
thank
know.
you. It's the music. It's the music.
It's the
It might be
music. The
'cause I
music
didn't
killed
even
it.
know it was her.
Which is, and I feel like I didn't articulate it in the chat, which is why I was like, if you're not going to make better music, you better put some nostalgia people in there. If you are not going to put better music, give us something where it's like, I know who it is first out the gate, and it ain't going to be, and it's not Bianca or Naomi, or like, give us somebody. That's why I was like, yes, I'll take Trish. Like, anybody to be like, oh, this is a genuine surprise, someone not on the roster currently, and I know the damn song. Like, that's all I
Give
wanted.
you that shocking reaction, like
Yes. And
because
exactly,
Trish
like-
was the only ones because I immediately recognized her music before I even looked up at the screen. I heard the shh. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Chelsea
Nikki Bella,
Green,
the same
yeah.
thing. Chelsea
Yeah.
Green, like we kind of knew they were coming. But did you guys feel like the surprises were like? How did y'all feel about who was coming up? Because we
I
spent a lot
felt
of
like-
time.
So I felt like for the women's match, because I just felt like it kind of fell flat, we could have had some surprises for the women's. Like you have Mickey James sitting in the damn audience. Why couldn't y'all pull a Michelle McCool, play her music, and let her hop
That
over
would've been
the
so
barricade? Right.
Yep.
Y'all had shit. You could. Why ain't y'all hit Stephanie music? She came out and opened the damn show. She could have
don't
went to
wanna
the
be
back
in
and
the
her
movie.
music could
I
have
need
hit.
her old music back though. If we're gonna do that, I know
But my
that
thing
song,
is that
that song's been around.
for a wow factor, like it, like literally, you brought in Ice Show Speed, which was hilarious, by the way. Like and he got an elimination under his belt. But it's just like if you still
A
want
memorable
that
one at that.
right? If you kind of want that wow factor for the women's, I feel like that's where it fell flat at because of the fact that everybody was just waiting and waiting for Jade to come. It kind of fell flat. And then once the Alexa Bliss music hit, cool. Charlotte Flair music hit, we knew she was coming. Jordan Grace, we knew she lied. Like, not you lying on grandma. But
Right,
it's just
Right.
like,
I was like, wait, what was that family engagement you had to
Yeah,
go
her
to
mother's
all of a
50th.
sudden?
And
Sixty.
even with Nikki, while it was a surprise because I don't think we thought she would get 30. I'm like,
Definitely not.
it was not a surprise. Like she,
Yeah, I didn't
was
think she was
at
gonna get
her
30.
debut of
I wish
Ric
it
Flair.
came out.
Like,
I would
thought
love
she
to
was
know
at
your
30.
opinion on this because I know I was hyped regardless, but I do wish she came out at a different number because I think if she wasn't like that last anticipated entrant, she would have got a better crowd response. Because when
Yeah.
you think of 30 right now, where the stakes are so high, you're not hoping it's Nikki Bella. You're actually hoping it's a real contender for the
you wanted
championship.
to be Jade. Jade should have been that spot.
It
At
should have
least,
been
right?
Jade,
Mhm.
or if we're going crazy, it had to be AJ Lee. Like there's the only two options y'all could have gave us was either Jade or AJ
Where the
Lee.
crowd would have been 100% because the crowd was not feeling it, at least and how I witnessed it in Legends. Like, no, it was definitely like boo because 30 is such a high anticipated number. Were we excited for her Nikki to come back? Yes, but 30 was, I don't know if that was the right choice.
See, and this
Yeah.
is the conundrum that the Rumble's been at, where like it's hard to make everyone happy because we gave Cody a lot of shit for coming back at 30 and winning the Rumble at 30 and not really doing much. So if that was Charlotte, we would have given her the same shit that we gave Cody 2 years ago when he did that.
For sure.
And then with Nikki coming in at 30, this is the conundrum that they're at with the Women's Rumble because now it feels like there's a contingent of fans that we want the nostalgia, we want the OGs to come back, we want, to have those memories and stuff like that. But then on the other hand, you've built up this entire deep ass NXT roster that honestly can use that shine a lot more. I think back to Bianca Belair in 2020 where she came out in the first two, had a long ass time in there with Alexa Bliss, spent like half the Rumble in there before she got eliminated, and she really shined. So then when she got called up to the main roster, it took a little bit, but you could tell they were really invested in her. You saw that tonight with Roxanne Perez, where they had her in there for a while. They had her mix it up with Bailey. She's the last person to get eliminated. You saw that the last 2 years where Liv Morgan was the last person to get eliminated in those back-to-back Rumbles. So are we really investing in this NXT talent and we're going to push them and use the Rumble to do that? Or are we going to go to this nostalgic, this is where we call in Trish Stratus, this is where we call in Mickie James? We've already done that. We did that in the 2018 Rumble because we didn't have enough people in NXT. So that was
But
all the OG women. We've already had Michelle McCool hop over the fence and wrestle. We've already had Trish and Mickey stand off on more than one Rumble. At some point, if we're really going to show how deep this roster is and how we're really investing in NXT, we can't keep calling Trish Stratus every single year to save us. We can't
No,
keep
I
calling
agree.
Mickey James to calls every single year to save us. We got to use some of that for, this is why Jada Parker, this is why Lash Legend, this is why Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vakir, Julia, because the same way we invested in Bianca Belair in that Rumble and it paid off, and the same way we've done it with Liv Morgan, you got to invest in your future. But that's where some fans can't let go of the past. And that's
But-
that conundrum where it's like, how do we make you all happy? Because you're going to complain about everything.
Here's my thing is like, and the perfect example is Lash. Lash got a pop because people that don't watch NXT have seen Lash on main shows on SmackDown, Raw. Jada didn't get a pop because, sorry, half the fans don't watch NXT. My
It's
thing is,
true.
use them girls. I absolutely agree. They use Julia and they use Stephanie because they're streaming internationally now.
Right.
I get that. You got to do that for that fan base. But them other girls, there's nothing that would have stopped any of them from being in an intercontinental match at the beginning and getting eliminated and then coming back for Rumble, and people would have at least made the connection. But
Right.
I feel bad because Jada Parker is great and she deserved a better pop, but half them people didn't know her. Granted, the
Yeah.
music sucked too, but like half them people ain't know her. So it's just like, I wish they used touch points better throughout the year to at least
Right.
create like a connection, because again, half them people in that building do not watch
Right.
NXT, unfortunately.
Because
Like, they're
the
not
casual
diehards like
fans,
that.
exactly, like the casual fans don't watch NXT, like you said, and even the casual fans that are coming back probably still don't watch NXT. They're
And
still
I
just tuning into like Raw and SmackDown.
Exactly. And I think that's my thing. If we're not going to create that like muscle memory of, I've seen this person before, you gotta call her Trish. You gotta have one. You have to have Natty's music play. You have to have one or two in there. If you're not going to show these girls on a main stage beforehand, Roxanne's the exception because it's Rox. It's Rox. I'm sorry, you can't. Roxanne and Bianca are the
she's also
exception.
been in a Royal Rumble before.
Yeah.
So that
That
helps.
too.
Jada Parker is very new. And I have to also just remember for myself to get out of the IWC bubble, because we all know these people. We all
Right.
talk about these people on a regular basis, but the casual fan does not. So they're going to be like, oh, okay. But then again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's also like, oh, wait, who is this girl
But-
that I don't
but-
recognize? You know?
But even then, Pete, that leaves more to the point of they just finna go back to NXT and we're not gonna see them again until Royal Rumble or they get called up. So what are we getting? We're giving them shine
Right.
to what? Maybe encourage people to watch NXT, maybe get a bump for a week or two to see for Vengeance Day. But like, create the connection. They're only in Orlando. Make them fly out. Do something. I don't care if they're in a backstage segment. Make
absolutely
people
right.
remember them folk.
That's something that they're gonna have to figure out long term, because at some point, I see like the chat where people are like, oh, the NXT women bore me, but at some point, Bailey's gonna retire, Charlotte's gonna retire, Natty's gonna retire, Shayna's gonna retire, Bianca's gonna move on. You've already seen Sasha move on. Becky's no longer here. Alexa already came off of a long hiatus. We don't know how long she's going to be here. Same for Nikki Bella. And those women that you see in NXT are going to be on your main roster.
Agreed. You have
You're
to
going to
show
be
them
seeing
for
Jada on Raw. You're going to
Yeah.
be seeing Lash Legend on SmackDown. You're going to be seeing Stephanie, Julia, but then all those Lola Vice and all those other Sol Ruka and all those other girls you're going to be seeing on Mondays and Fridays. So at some point, you're going to have to get invested, because W's showing you like, here's your new crop. Because at some point, either these women are going to leave or retire. And this is going to be it.
Right. But I think like Lyra's the perfect example. She comes in, she has this incredible story with Becky down in NXT, beats Becky. Oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so dope. She comes to the main roster and half the people are like, who? And it's like, y'all could have brought her up for like a second, a backstage segment, anything, and y'all just did it. And then you throw her in here. She wins the Intercontinental title, and poor girl, I feel like been set up to fail because people are like, y'all don't even show this girl, and she's been on the main roster since draft last year. Like, huh? So I'm just like, fix it. I want it, but fix it. And if you're not gonna fix
Right.
it, you
And-
can at least
and
make
it's
me happy
easy
if
to
I
do
don't have to deal with
so.
that blue ass music.
Right. And it's easy to do so with so many different platforms to expose these superstars. Like a lot of these superstars get famous on social media, even if they don't have a presence on like TV. But with the NXT girls, I feel like you got to do it even harder because of the people that don't tune into that so that they get a pop. So that, like you guys said, when they eventually end up on the main roster, it's not like, oh, wait, who is this person? So like with what's her name? Lyra Valkyrie. Like I don't
Lyra Valkyrie.
yeah,
Bird-
like that
Bird Lady.
Bird lady.
Yo, exactly. Because Rumble, like she came out, and it's not even it's the music. Besides, once you figured out who it was, we still didn't care, and you're holding championship gold. Like that
No,
makes
bro, I was
no
like,
sense to me. Like
okay, okay.
you know,
Yeah, like I don't
The
know.
metal music you like and don't work no more.
It
We
really
need some-
don't.
you
we
like
need a
that
mix.
do sound very Triple H coded, and
Yeah,
it's like
all
nah,
that. It's
I
all
need
sound the
something
Call
same,
somebody.
man.
I don't know
But
what
then
he
again,
needs in this
sometimes
but call
WWE people be listening and paying attention. So, like, yes, this is the reason why we love CFOs because their music was distinct. Every person had distinct music that stood out. Bailey's music stood out different from Charlotte. Charlotte's music stood out different from Asuka. Asuka's music stood out different from Alexa Bliss. And down the road, right now, it feels.
I love came back.
Right now, it feels like everyone's music, half of them, like or a third of them stand out, and the other 2/3 feels like WWE 2K25 build a wrestler.
Yeah,
And
it's
when they come
generic-
out, it's just like,
generic entrance 007.
and like Pablo put it perfect. Like you have Damian Priest who held championship gold, Dominic Mysterio who's like one of the biggest heels in the company, and they kind of have similar music that you don't know which is which, unless like you see the graphic or they actually come out, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
like it works in like a 15,000 seat arena. It doesn't work in a 75,000 cathedral like Lucas Oil Stadium.
That's what I'm saying. If you pack in a building with 75,000 people, half of them people don't watch NXT, or half of them people don't know these people music. Make something has to be memorable that y'all participating in. And I'm like, that was like the only letdown. Like I said, I don't care about Charlotte winning. That's cool with me. I don't care. Jay, absolutely. Story's there. But like, damn, y'all could have made, I feel like that's, and then I think that's where people be like, Triple H sucks at booking Royal Rumbles. And I think this is the year we all collectively said, no, he doesn't. It's just the music, y'all. Like,
Right.
it's just the music.
It really
That's why it feels
truly
so
is that.
shitty.
I agree.
Versus when He Who Shall Not Be Named was booking it, it was so packed with nostalgia. Every time you hit the music, it's like, oh. And so people think it's better. It's not better. The wrestling quality was
No, because
worse.
it was like
way
there's only two people that can win, and then the other 28
That-
are gonna get eliminated.
Exactly.
At
It's like,
least Triple
okay.
H is paying attention because like here, this is the reason why you bring in like, okay, I'm actually paying attention to what the kids are doing. Hence a Kai Cenat and an IShow Speed. For us, we're
Exactly.
like, we don't know who they are, but for a lot of these kids who pay attention to YouTube and Twitch streaming and all these, they know who, you know, Speed and Kai will be like Jay-Z and Nas to us. We're like, oh
Right,
shit,
right.
they're like that level of fame to the kids. So like Speed being in there makes sense. As much as we don't like Logan Paul's at least shown he's committed to the craft like 110%. That
That's true.
No,
he'll be in there
sense.
wrestling, going to Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels school and stuff like that. Like he's actually dead ass committed.
He'll
He
be
makes
the
sense.
healer.
I think the big problem with him is like, again, I'm gonna give it a couple more months, but they don't. It's not. That's not your good heel, boo. That is get the fuck off my screen, boo.
I was
that
gonna
he's getting.
ask because I asked Brian while we were watching, like, is he getting the right kind of heat? Because I don't think so.
No, it's get off my screen. It's why are you entering at 30? It's why are you eliminated? Here's the thing. I think more people were mad he eliminated CM Punk than a CM Punk losing. Why
That
are
was
you
awesome.
eliminating?
It's
Why are
a-
you
it
in
It
the
could have
final
been
stage?
anyone else. It could have been anyone else.
The question
I
is,
would-
when is CM Punk really going to get his chance?
Elimination
That
Chamber.
This should have been the year.
No, it's
Chamber.
more for Mania. Like,
Chamber.
I think he'll get it. I think it's one of those things where you got a hot Jey Uso. I always said that right now it feels like we wait and we see what the final boss is doing. But I mean, shoot, the way that last four looked, last three at one point were Punk, Roman, and Rollins. Shoot, I wouldn't mind throwing them in with
Triple
Cody.
threat.
Uh,
Triple
you
threat,
know, it's
fatal
Mm,
4-way.
yo,
I don't
yeah,
care.
fatal 4-way. As much as I'm not a biggest fan of them, you know, WrestleMania 2000 sucked, but I think that could work with those two. I mean, when you saw that star power in the end, you saw like literally like this is the greatest star power we had since our beloved coveted Attitude Era. Sorry, Ruthless Aggression, you could never, but this was like superstars. I mean, you know, these guys are all, you know, you saw a who shall not be named guy, you saw a Triple H guy, you saw a IWC guy, you saw a Ring of Honor guy, you saw everything. It was the combination of everything we love about professional wrestling. And for a guy like Jey Uso, the people's champion, you know, shout out to Kaz. He said this guy is more over than Goldberg, and people came at him for it, but it's the truth. He did this in bigger stadiums than Goldberg could ever do it. He's bigger than, you know, if anybody who's watching WCW back in the day, Jey Uso is WCW's DDP, but 10 times better because he is crossing over not just the Jay Leno and Karl Malone, but he's crossing over the superstars and people that like really matter, the artists that's got billions and billions of streams and revenue. And that's the reason why he is that guy.
That nigga. I got you.
I feel like
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going with that guy. My melanin don't kick in right now. I can't say that word.
and another one.
John Cena just talk about Punk
nasty
at Elimination Chamber. John Cena just definitely declared himself to be inside.
He said he's going to be in it. Yeah, that's
so
fine.
I think that was a good showing for John Cena's last Rumble.
I mean, cool. That's Rumble, yes. Elimination Chamber.
He's getting ate up. That ball spot's
John Cena.
That
I mean, you got 45-something-year-old Punk that's going to be in there and probably win it.
That's true. That's true.
No, I think a fatal 4-way with them four works because there's 10, 15 plus years of history there. It's so many layers to it. Cody and Punk, Cody Roman, Cody Seth, Punk and Rollins. Like that favor is still on the table for Paul Heyman. They weave those stories in so well that a fatal 4-way with them four makes sense. It's not, you know, he who should not be named, the last name, in every corner where it's like you just picking random people from the roster trying to win shit. Like this makes sense to have a fatal 4-way between them four. I would be here for it, but that's the thing I'm most interested in is that double foot stomp.
Yeah,
you have to
like
die.
the way they ended that Rumble where like Seth is like stomping Roman to like the high heavens and then directing his attention immediately to Punk. And it's like, yeah, Punk is still owed that favor. None of these guys really rock with Cody like that.
No, like you, like at this point, they all are probably saying, "No, you have to die to each and every one of them." Like they're ready to kill each other, and I'm like, put them in a cage, do it. I don't care. Do real MMA fight. I don't care.
So my thing is that right now, my question is, I'm over here going through Twitter now that I'm not driving, and I'm seeing like, who would have got the biggest thing of booze? Would have been Logan Paul, or would have been Kofi and Xavier if they popped up in that damn Rumble?
That's a great
because they definitely didn't pop up.
They didn't pop up.
Xavier
I think it's still Logan because Logan, I think, is a blend of go away heat and like we respect that you can actually wrestle, but we still don't like your ass heat. Whereas with Kofi and Xavier is like, we respect you in New Day, and so we're doing it in character. We're booing. Like we don't rock with what you did. So F you guys. But Logan's like a different level of like half X-Pac heat, half we respect what you're doing in the ring, but still F you.
Hey, Ricardisha.
I think Kofi and them would have got more boos because at one point Logan comes out and the crowd's dead silent, and then you start randomly hearing big boos, and I'm like, oh, y'all piping that shit in, okay. It was silent when he walked out that ramp at first. It was silent for a good 4 or 5 seconds, and then they started booing.
Well, I think some of that is also what's been the theme of this? The music, the casuals, because Logan's so in and out, people don't know that stupid ass Maverick song.
I don't know
that he comes out to.
But
What's
also,
his face?
the thing that got me was then when he's sitting over there like peacocking in the middle of the ring, they also were silent for another 3 seconds before they started booing him. So I was just like, they really don't want that ass here, boy. Like they want you gone.
Especially
like,
when it's in a stadium. Like that's the thing you gotta have, you know. I mean, because like real talk, before 95, I mean before 96, there wasn't no music And so you had to rely on that. I wish somebody, but that's a lot of money. I wish they would pay somebody to dub those old Royal Rumbles with the music inside, because then maybe I would actually go back and watch.
Yeah, because they seem so boring.
They do, but like that music and it's the formula that they miss it. It's wrestling music formula is so simple. A 3-step build up, burn, 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 like the Godfather, burn, 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 burn. Shawn Michaels, and then to give the crowd the pop, people come out. Then the crowd pops again, and then they can sing the song. It's so simple, but they don't went away from that. But
it's a great idea, Brian. But like, no one's trying to hear Nikolai Volkov's music or fucking Repo Man or Typhoon and Earthquake's music.
No, Repo Man. No, for Repo Man, it would have been fine.
The fact that there was even a character called Repo.
That's
Man.
because of the character.
It's like,
like
all right, maybe I'm here for the Mounties theme song again, but I don't know if I'm trying to see Warlord come out with his music.
Element to it, because it's like, okay, the countdown ends, you just look and some guy comes out, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's half the point of Rumble, though, is like the music. That's like half the battle.
It evolved to that where we enjoyed that. Like, how many times like people's music would hit and then nobody would come out because they got attacked. You know what I mean? Or they was like, no, they're refusing to go. Like that was the fun part. But I mean, this was definitely a classic.
Maybe because I'm also thinking of 01, where like 2/3 of like the men's roster sprinted. So even though they came out to music, it's like you got 5 seconds of the music, and then it was like immediately cut off because they were sprinting to the ring.
Nah, see, I think it was Punk tonight. By the time he finished, it was already time for Rollins.
I was about to be like, did it seem like they was speeding up the numbers?
It did. The men
around,
I was like, okay, it was definitely not.
Punk just got to the ring. How we counting already?
Well, to be fair, it's like when you got Roman who's gonna walk his ass, when you got Punk who's gonna walk his ass, when you have Seth that's like, I'm gonna walk my ass. It's like, yeah, that was already 2 minutes. Y'all take like 3 minutes to do your entrances. Of course, like, yeah, hit the number. Speed, go back out there again.
Yeah, they were walking slow.
Speed was hilarious though. Carmelo ain't have to do that to Tozawa, but Speed was hilarious.
That man ate.
He ate
all that Braun Breaker's like spear. Like Braun did not hold back.
Like, did hit the ground.
I hope his neck all right, because he
like, I mean, he jacked up his leg. You see the pictures?
Yeah.
Cool.
Speed.
And they caught him too. So it was. So I'm driving back home with my aunt, and my aunt is, I have it on. So she's watching this. So she's like, oh, like, and I'm like, what you see? She go, you don't want to watch that. Like, you want to stay on the road. I said, you over here making noises like it's something in front of me on the road that I need to be paying attention for. She was into the match. However, she was more so into Michael Cole's commentary.
Nice.
So every time like Michael Cole said something, like when Otis threw ISO Speed over the announce table and Michael Cole, he goes, you all right, sir? You all right? My aunt is cracking up. Then I had to hit her with she's like, Crystal, who's that? When it came down to the Cody Kevin matter. So you remember Dusty Rhodes? That's his son. She goes, oh, I remember Dusty. So it was like I was pulling that nostalgia out of her while watching Royal Rumble. It was the most funniest thing, the most fun thing ever. And I'm like, yes. Real to end. She go, let me know if Jey Uso win WWE. I see me WrestleMania. Yeah, that.
She understands it's a big moment. Like she know like this is leading to something huge for Jey Uso. That win felt like WWE's listening to the people, where the fans are 100,000% behind him. So it's like, why not have him win the Rumble? And I miss the Rumble winner being somebody that actually could use a championship opportunity, and not somebody that's just like, oh, they're the top guy right now. Let's have them win it. But like Jey Uso, somebody that is coming up and is now like he could main event he will main event one of the nights of WrestleMania. Like that's
No, he's main eventing.
So I have to be honest.
Okay, so does the Rumble win get you just a title match, or is it the main event?
It gets you a main event.
For the men, you close. For the women,
women have it.
The women is either your opening or you're the semi-main or the co-main. Okay, because the women haven't main evented since Sasha and Bianca.
Do you mind if I take it back to 2011? Do you forget? You remember who won that Royal Rumble?
I wasn't
Alberto Del Rio. Do you know which part of the card he was on?
He was
mid-card. He was the opener in Atlanta against Edge, and he lost. So,
But it was Alberto Del Rio, so who cares?
at the time, Alberto Del Rio was a top guy who they thought was going to be the man.
That's definitely.
That's true because I'm over here watching Money in the Bank of that year, or probably the year before.
So I say that to say,
I heard those were Yeezys.
I think.
Yeah, they
CM
were
Punk-
using
unfortunately.
They were foam runners.
I think Punk finally gets his WrestleMania main
he
event.
definitely came to the ring in Crocs. He's wearing Crocs, you guys.
Like,
good old Michael Cole.
Nah.
Good old Michael Cole.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could-
Jay
you
was
could-
the only one that could win. I gotta go. I gotta say
Yeah,
that.
like my thing
I
is
thought it was
Punk is going to obliterate Logan Paul. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
No, like don't have them touch.
We're going to get one way somewhere down the line. We're going to get Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Book it right now. We're going to get that. We're also going to get a triple threat between Punk, Seth, and Roman. Don't know where it's going to fall. And then we're also going to get a rematch between Braun and Jacob. So it was so many stories in that men's Royal Rumble match. It's just like, how are we going to keep up?
Okay,
I'm gonna go
my
on
biggest
it,
question.
That was my favorite men's Rumble. Like,
my biggest question. I got one big. Actually, I have two big questions. What do they do with Drew McIntyre now, though?
He
got eliminated by he got eliminated by a non-factor. No offense, I love Damian Priest, but non-factor in like a main event kind of world right now. He's going to build his way on SmackDown, but not non-factor in like the big storyline.
Damian Priest on SmackDown? I mean, is Drew McIntyre on SmackDown?
He's on Raw right now.
Okay, so there's a thing called the transfer window. They're going to put Drew on SmackDown. You're going to have Drew and Damian. You're going to have Drew bitch, moan, and complain about everything in life. He's going to put him on that list. And then we're going to have a Damian McIntyre match at Elimination Chamber, or we're going to start having it at Raw or SmackDown, lead it up to Elimination Chamber. And then if it goes well, we can probably finish this story at WrestleMania, mid-card or opener, and call it a day.
Okay, big question though.
Who has the IC title on Raw right now? Is that
Braun Breaker?
Then that's what you do for Drew.
Why are we putting a title on him?
No, Penta's
I didn't say put the title on him. Give me that
Penta's
match.
going for it. Penta's going for it.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Penta did a good job today.
He did.
I thought Rey Mysterio got hurt though.
Penta's feet definitely hit the floor though.
1 foot.
Oh,
1 foot.
So
shout out to the cameraman though, because he saw it coming and was like, real quick.
You tried. Yeah.
I definitely was here for Penta and Ray opening the Men's Royal Rumble, because that opener just led me to know like it was going to be a banger for real.
I think that was shots fired at a certain promotion.
Of course. A lot of Latinos in the first 10.
Wilkins said
I was
Tony
loving
Khan is
it.
right now punching air.
Bro, they had
like,
what
bro,
they had Penta, Ray, Santos, Andrade, all in there at one time. They were throwing up double middle fingers.
I'm sure.
Not to mention Punk.
Double middle fingers to them.
Not to mention Jimmy. So you also had like the Samoans as well.
Yeah, Jimmy
it
and
was a takeover between Mexicans and Samoans.
Yeah,
like, and that's not even trying to be like racist. Like that's just exactly what it was.
Love the diversity of it all too.
Yes,
I am curious with what they're gonna do with Braun and Jacob. I guess they're gonna do a match at Elimination Chamber, but I thought Braun died. Like, how you go from coughing up blood to just being in the Rumble? Like, your inside is good like that, bro.
I don't even know when he eliminated. When he eliminated Jacob Fatu, didn't he say something like "You tried to kill me" or something like that? Or was I bugging?
Oh, he was cursing at Jacob.
Or like I almost died, or like whatever.
They bleeped a couple things.
You died and you came back a week later to be in the Rumble. Okay, God worked miracles over there, I guess.
I mean, how many times did Undertaker die and come back? Maybe he got his
already
powers.
dead to begin with. He was dead to begin
King
with.
Kill was dead.
Dead man.
He was dead to begin with. Braun was not.
I love how my Twitter feed is all for Jey Uso right now. Zelina Vega, Natty,
Natty, that's interesting.
Natty posted a picture with both of the Usos and said, since day one ish. It has a picture with the
The
both
cover
of
boy
them.
for WWE.
And that's another thing too. Is like the investment has not been just like this last year or two in Jey Uso. Remember when like the Usos couldn't get on the main like show and they were on the pre-show?
Mhm.
People were getting pissed about that for years.
You was at their
All
first
the time.
WrestleMania where they was
Yeah.
on the main show.
Yeah, and they got obliterated in 2 minutes for the Bludgeon Brothers. Rest in peace, Brody.
They came
That
a
wasn't-
long way.
It was like, yeah, you and New Day are finally on the main show, and that match barely lasted 3 minutes because
Did y'all keep Alexa Bliss's jacket?
Yeah.
yes,
What it said?
Yeah.
How the
R.I.P.
R
Brett.
was lower?
You know he did.
Fiend
Yes.
forever. Now I
See-
gotta add that to my repertoire. Now
see,
I need
I
that
be trying to remind people like there is a large contingent of wrestling fans that really love Alexa Bliss, and if anyone doubted that, you saw it
Everybody
tonight,
loves
full
her.
front when she came
Who
out and when she got
I know, like,
eliminated.
Who don't like my girl?
Oh, well, I used to because I didn't like the wrestling, and I didn't like that she got supremely overpushed
For me, it
during
was the
like those 2 years. But like there are people that genuinely love her that I cannot wait for an Alexa Bliss Liv Morgan feud because it really would be the
yes.
Spider-Man meme of like
Yes, I'm like, it's
Alexa's
giving
the OG
imposter
and Liv is the
syndrome.
remix.
Yeah,
These-
it's giving imposter syndrome. Like, who's the real one?
These are the things about the match that I appreciated is like we're gonna get Alexa and Liv. We're probably gonna get Candice and Zelina. I'm like, finally, y'all are putting people around the same height and fuse against each other. So it's actually a believable fight. Yes. Yes.
And talent level too, because like Liv's the
Yes.
better wrestler, but Alexa's better mic and character work.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
we don't know what Liv's gonna bring now.
Talent until
Liv
she
done had a
wasn't
baby. We don't know. She done pushed out a baby. She been working on. We don't know what type of skills Alexa Bliss is gonna bring. So we
She's gonna
can't
come
say
back
that Liv is
better
better.
than ever because she just had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
look at
somebody-
what happened
oh,
with Becky. Becky leveled up after the baby.
Pete, tell your sister to get off of Twitter right
What
now.
she said?
She gonna say Logan Paul equals roach mayonnaise. Get off of Twitter. Give me your phone, cause what? No,
Roach, yeah, that she wilding.
get off of Twitter right now.
That's hilarious. Because that sounds so accurate.
Roach mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Nike 316.
So
She did
Nikki
get the
Bella
biggest
said
pop.
she has
Yo.
unfinished business with Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan.
That's a fact.
Mhm.
Who
That's
said
what
that?
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
Hello.
that's
her
a fact.
and her and Trish Stratus, they're gonna be wrestling at WrestleMania, and I'm here for
I
it.
love it. I love
No,
it.
wait. This was Nikki or this was Alexa?
Nikki said that she has unfinished business with Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan. What's the unfinished business? I'm so confused.
Charlotte, remember this was the time of like the horsewomen coming up, and then you remember when it was like Team Bella,
She's
Team
the one that
PCB,
Divas
Team
Championship
Bad,
from
and all that. And Charlotte was the one that dethroned Nikki, and there's always been that rivalry of like Nikki thought she was top dog, and then Charlotte eclipsed everything Nikki Bella's ever done.
Mhm.
So there's also that history. With Liv is different because it's like, wait a minute. Because when Nikki was gone, Liv was still NXT, and then when Liv came up to the main roster, Nikki was nowhere up here. So what's the? I'm missing something there.
Some in the Royal Rumble, probably one of the Royal Rumbles where they came back.
Oh, wasn't Liv the one that eliminated Nikki?
I think so.
Then that would make sense.
Did Liv eliminate Nikki tonight? Yeah.
Liv was in there for a long time.
I think
So-
Liv did.
Liv was
Liv
Iron Woman
eliminated
tonight.
Nikki tonight. No.
Yeah. Or Raquel helped her or something like that, but I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's why I think I didn't want Nikki at 30 because I was like, if she's coming back,
was
it ain't
not
gonna
the right
be for,
spot.
it ain't gonna be for a one-time thing. So why put her at the spot? She's
Right.
gonna be back full time. Like
30 is
Yeah, I
always
would
a
have
hard
never
spot.
thought that she would have came out at 30. I honestly thought that was a Jade spot or even a Becky Lynch spot, and we could have definitely had Bailey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch in that ring.
Oh my god, I'm thankful
stay at
that it
home
wasn't
with
Becky.
that 5-year-old
Yeah.
kid.
Because
Raise
it's bad
your child.
enough. And this is what I was gonna say, Krista, when you were saying like you preferred Bailey and Charlotte being the final two. I'm glad it wasn't either because there's a large contingent of fans that are tired of the horsewomen. Like it's always the horsewoman over everything. And
But what I know, I said that in the context of giving Rhea more people to build a story with, not as a general type sense. So if we wanted
Yeah.
to do Bailey
yeah,
and
but
Rhea.
we ran Rhea and Becky for a while.
No, that's what I said. Bailey and Rhea. That's what I'm like. Give
No, but
Bailey.
if
and
you had
Charlotte
Becky
as-
in that Rumble and then she's coming in at 30, then
Oh no,
it's
she
like
could have got eliminated.
you're having 3 of the 4 horsewomen in the final 6, where it's like it kind of sends like the wrong message.
Becky
That's
could have
true. That's true.
No, did y'all
There
see?
was
I'm gonna send it
what
to
happened?
y'all.
There was no sorry. I like Becky Lynch. I just want to say I'm not a hater. I'm good with her being gone for a while. Just like I was good with like I didn't want Charlotte to be injured, but I was good with her being off TV for a minute. I was okay with it. And I get why they had to keep running the 4 horsewomen. I get it. Like they ain't have much until Bianca.
There's
and
a
Rhea
reason why.
and they thought
Yeah.
they thought Raquel was going to be more. Like they were trying to like wait to get them 3 because now, like I said, the reverse just happened with the men. Like the men don't got nobody down in NXT, and that's why we didn't see Trick Williams tonight, even though I'm pissed about it. So
Trick Williams is mad that he lost his title shot or whatever.
I know he over there smacking people.
He
but
pouting.
I wanted to see him.
It got Redman's attention.
Yep, sure did.
It got Redman's attention.
I wanted to see my man's. I wanted to see him.
I'm happy Joe Hendry came out.
Had to.
Yeah, that was
his
pop was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, see how they booked that men's rumble. That's what I'm with
this year. I'm not gonna lie, the men's rumble ain't this year.
I am low key sad that Jeff Hardy didn't come. I would have loved that.
I'm good. He would have tried to jump off the roof of that building. No, thank you.
Exactly. He's addicted to the pop. So if he would have came there, he wouldn't have wanted to go back to TNA. He would have got there and like.
I mean, he already he's already signed to both technically. So
no, it's a difference. If he shows up, he's not going back into TNA arenas. Like that's too much for him. And then he just Jeff Hardy needs to be on like a super duper legends deal. He come wrestle 2 times a month, leave, go do what he want, go do his artistic stuff, go do his writing a book and coloring books, and then come back out and then wrestle. He don't need to be on a full-time schedule. I mean, he's an artist.
I'm cool with them being in NXT though. I'm cool with them being in NXT. I'm cool if we get the Hardys as a package because the Raw tag division sucks. I'm cool if we get them as a package, but him by himself, I'm all set.
No, I just wanted to see him for that moment. Like,
just
like how Trish got that reaction. Like we had no legends in the sense
why
in
do
the
y'all want
rumble at all.
So bad? Like the roster's stacked. It don't need it.
All right, like, so Trish needs to come.
Trish is coming back for she says she has unfinished business.
All right, but if you want to sit here and talk about why we need legends so bad because the roster is stacked, Trish could have came back tomorrow. Trish could have came back on Monday. Trish ain't have to come back and be in a Royal Rumble.
Not to defend Brian.
If I wanted to see Jeff Hardy just for that pop, not saying he had to stay on roster, like keep
but you got to remember Jeff Hardy deals with us.
Come back.
Like Jeff Hardy can't handle that.
To be fair, not to defend Brian, but they are running Rogers Center in like a month, so they that's why they brought Trish back. Like to be fair,
I understand that, but at the same time, if you're talking about not having legends in the ring because the roster's already stacked, Trish didn't have to be in that ring in that rumble. Somebody else could have took that spot, and Trish could have came back on a Monday Night Raw or a Friday Night SmackDown. Hell, she could have came back at an NXT if we keeping that same energy.
But she never re-retired.
Krista has a point, but then again, like maybe Jay's not 100%. Maybe Becky's like, nope, not ready to come back. Click.
But I didn't say Becky.
When she lost Becky Lynch, she never re-retired.
I didn't say Becky. I didn't say Becky or anything. What I said was, if we're talking of you trying to say,
but no, Jeff Hardy's not on the roster. You're wrong. He's not on the roster. Trish Stratus is still on the roster.
And I'm not saying that she's not, but there's been,
that's why RBD was in the crowd.
Come back without being on rosters. This is what I'm saying. Like, if everybody was like in town or whatever, and being that it's a nostalgia type thing, like, let's be real. Mr. Redacted literally
he made it nostalgia. Triple H took that away. And
what I'm saying is there could have been a mixture, not a whole OD type of all these nostalgic as because
so you wanted the Godfather in.
No.
He coming with hoes?
Not, I mean, let's see what I'm about to say. If he come with the hoes, yeah. But what I'm saying is Trish in her right is a legend. She's a Hall of Famer. She's not active. We don't see her as often, but she has a legacy contract. And the fact that Jeff Hardy is so on top right now in TNA,
Well,
about to come to
oh,
NXT.
okay, my bad. You're right. Tag team champion. You're right.
Right.
Touche.
So on top right now in TNA as a tag team champion, about to face Fraxium at one point, and maybe even the Rascals at one point. It's later on down the line, very soon, to just have that little pop, especially because now of the WWE TNA collab. Not saying that Jeff Hardy has
He
to
also
be
wasn't a
back on the
Triple H
main
guy,
roster.
though.
What
I'm sorry?
I do
He
think
also wasn't a Triple H guy. Like Triple H reluctantly was in the match to put him
And
over.
that's
That's why
okay,
he
but
purposely
sometimes
made
if you
sure he
have
wasn't
to
in the
just, like,
frame. So he
be-
doesn't trust him.
But
Like we
sometimes
forgot
you
the
have to
bridge that
be-
Jeff Hardy burned.
What?
Is that part?
We forget.
yeah,
Is that part? Because remember,
Ooh.
Jeff was here
Walked
2 years
out.
ago, and then they quietly like, nah, you got to go.
he walked
he
out on a
walked out.
match.
So maybe that's like we're still on bad terms. That it's a
Yes.
good idea, Krista, but like we didn't forget what you did 2 years ago. On why
But
we
I
had to let you
also
go.
will say, I
Like all the Chris Van Vliet interviews ain't gonna like get him over. I
You-
mean, if that was the case, Velveteen Dream would have been there.
No, Brian, you did bring up
Oh,
a good
God.
point though, because now that I'm thinking about it, if Nikki's back full time, she makes sense being in the Rumble. If Trish is back for the full time for the foreseeable future, she makes sense
Hey,
being in the
hotline.
Rumble. If them people are back for the full time foreseeable future, them being in the Rumble makes sense. If Jeff just coming just to do a swanton and get eliminated,
Right.
plus the bridge burning thing, it really doesn't make sense.
But y'all
unless
gotta
you
understand
do it.
this cross between WWE and TNA. Like, I don't know if y'all been watching TNA on Thursdays, but I've been in tune. They're going to be in NXT, just like Fraxium is going to be, and
Yeah.
and that's what I'm just like that cross right there. Whether Jeff Hardy's a Triple H guy or not, he could have still made. He
But
could have
if
still
that's
made
the
that
case-
appearance.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then Masha should have been in there.
And I
Jordan was in there
agree.
last year.
I
Crimson
agree.
Chin should have showed up then. If that like
Who?
Crimson Chin, I'm just
No.
it's one of those
No,
things.
we don't
we got
applaud
Joe.
racism now.
Nah.
We got Joe though. That was
Keep
that
Chin
was the
Killer
thing.
as far away from the
Everybody in
WWE
TNA
as
ain't gonna
possible.
ain't gonna show up in NXT.
Boom.
No, we got Joe. Joe was
don't
the
think we should
Joe
think on that.
satisfied the deal for the night. Like I thought we were gonna get Masha, to be honest, but
I thought
like
we was
Joe
gonna get Masha
satisfied the
too,
deal
for
for the
real.
night, I guess. Like they were like, we just want Joe, because like they had options. Mustafa could have came. Like they had options to bring whoever up, and they just chose not to. But I do,
Nope.
I see both y'all points. I like I said, I wanted more legends so I have the memorable music, so I could actually be like, oh, this person's
Yeah.
coming out.
I was really waiting for if we were to talk about like celebrity aspect of it, because they over here pushing
Bad Bunny.
this. Yes, like if Logan Paul would have hit, if we didn't have LA Knight, and if Logan Paul would have hit 29, Bad Bunny should have been 30, and that should have been the
But I
stand.
think the problem with Bad Bunny is if you put him in, then people are gonna want him for like a Mania match or a SummerSlam match, and he's already got an entire residency booked for the summer in Puerto Rico for that album.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get him at SummerSlam at all. And as
Damn.
busy as his schedule
Yes,
is,
we
he's
are.
probably not available for Mania.
We could get him for SummerSlams in August. The residency is this
When he
It's
came to
July.
perform
No,
at-
the residency is
at
July
Leno's
and
show,
August.
also on tour
It's the
during
entire
that.
summer, Krista.
Yeah.
But it's
And
still
on top of his schedule, he's probably not available for Mania. And I think that's where with Bad Bunny, like you can't bring him just for Rumble because then people don't want him for other stuff too.
understand it, but look at how long we ain't have Jade and we still want for stuff, and look at how we about to build that up. My thing is that with
But
WWE
Jay's a
wrestling,
real wrestler though. Jay's
with
not a celeb.
but with wrestling in general, you can tease something, drop it because other stuff is so good, and then when you bring it, you be like, oh, so maybe when I had Bad Bunny and Logan Paul at WrestleMania, no, we had him at SummerSlam, but there's always Survivor Series. Like you could always bring that up and bring it back at Survivor Series. You could have did it at another Payback Backlash, so something
yeah.
to that effect. You got to remember, Bad Bunny killed Backlash with Damian Priest. Like
Right,
anywhere you put him,
You want him
anywhere
in
you
there
put
with
him,
Logan?
it has to be a big four. Anywhere you put that match, it's going to put seats and asses.
But you want him with Logan?
Yes.
That might
Who's
hurt.
the real Puerto Rican here? I'm confused.
Do you understand? Like somebody will die in that match? Like no. I don't
Logan.
want two celebrities. Okay, yes, I'm with that one. But
See?
two celebrities ain't gonna be in no match together. Like that's just
Thank
I don't
you,
think that's
Bob,
gonna
bro.
happen. I don't care how
You
much
gotta have
Logan
somebody
says-
call the match.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, the language barrier, because we already know Logan Paul racist. So like, what we finna do? What are we really finna do?
It would definitely
Like,
have to be a tag team match.
I see what
it
Chris
has
is
to be a tag
saying,
team
but it
tag.
goes back to my initial point, which is this is the Rumble is extremely hard to like satisfy everybody. Like you're gonna like someone's gonna leave unhappy because it's extremely hard to be like we'll have men's Rumble, women's Rumble, we'll book it this way, we'll have this many people, we'll have this to where everyone's happy. Because if you bring too much nostalgia, you're not building for the future. What's the whole point of
Bingo.
watching NXT if you're gonna do this? Okay, have all the NXT kids. Well, I don't know half these people. Why I'm here for like the Trish Stratuses or the Jeff Hardys and stuff like that. It's like
Like I
someone's
said,
always gonna be
there's a
unhappy when it comes to the Rumble.
There-
It is what
there's
it
a
is.
balance and they'll figure it out, but there's a balance. Like I said, the NXT thing is an easy fix. Have somebody have a promo on Raw or SmackDown throughout the year. That's not hard to fix at all. Like at all. Like if you do that, I love Trish, but you don't gotta have her unless you really want her. If she wants to do a full-time thing. I do agree with that. Like if you coming back, come back. Like I
mean,
think
and
the only
that's
person
the
that
thing.
deserves
Like nobody knew who Tegan Knox was when in the 2020 Royal Rumble. Nobody knew who Dakota Kai was at the time.
No.
You know, Bianca was known because she was like Bianca. She was like one of one.
Yeah.
But it was
Bruh.
a lot of those ladies.
All
like,
three women of Pure Fusion Collective got 0 reactions.
because their music.
Then
It's
their
the
music, but also when they're standing in the middle of the ring posing, all you did was beat people down. You ain't even throw nobody out the damn ring. What are we doing?
Right,
Like the
exactly.
whole other match is to throw people out the ring and you just hit bitches with punches. What are we doing? Break up, break it up, break it up.
Like,
Get Shayna Baszler back right by herself. Break that shit up.
Okay.
So before we wind down, right? Has anybody checked on Kevin Owens?
He'd be all right.
Someone needs to.
Because as I'm looking at the Alabama Slam, like his head and his neck is literally stuck in between the ladder
was
rungs.
Yeah, like
That was
how
the
do you
craziest
brace
show I think
yourself
I've
for
ever
a spot like that, especially when you're not putting your hands behind your head to like brace it?
Yeah, you
That was
can't.
the
Like, how do
craziest
you-
stuff
Mad
I've
at
ever seen.
him.
Like, is
That's
it just
all
one of
I
those like I know I'm gonna be fucked up? Maybe
like,
Trips
I
is like
know I'm
you're
about to
getting 2
die.
weeks off regardless.
Not
As
to
He
a
was
big
supposed to say he was
person-
supposed to take Stop Cody, and he didn't. He gonna be mad at Sammy.
As a big person, I just want to know how he threw his legs over his head like that. Like how he got it over the stomach.
a lot of things.
That's
as a
what I
big
need to
person.
know. How he got his legs over that stomach. Because I was like, this is incredible. Like flexibility is real.
I am too tired to
I
be
mean, there's a
engaged in
reason
this
why he
fucking
wrestles.
conversation.
I
But
know,
USA
right?
Network
he
goes,
was nuts.
OMG, he killed Kevin.
Now, I will
It's
say
a
that
South Park.
Homelander side of Cody, that Homelander side of Cody peeking out because he was walking up the ramp. Then he walked back to go pose as that man's folded over like a lawn chair.
We're
Yeah,
getting,
that was crazy.
we're getting
Yep.
2 heel turns.
He gonna snap. He gonna snap one day, one of these days.
We getting 2 heel turns. Cody, after he did that shit, and Street Profits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I
Yes.
love what the Profits did, and I
That was
feel
great.
bad for
That
that
was
for
great.
those tag teams because they put on a great match, and I think anywhere else it gets a better reaction, but because it's
Reaction.
Rumble and we're usually here for like the Rumble matches, it was like, especially 2 out of 3 falls, it was like a,
Like, cares about them.
yeah, it's like move on, we want Rumbles.
Put that
But I
shit on
love
there.
what the Profits did after, especially the beatdown that Dawkins did with that crutch. Like, god damn, that shit hurts.
I will
It's
say, I
about
feel like
time.
they were. I do think people were confused that they attacked both of them, though. Like, I get what they were doing. They want the titles, obviously, but why cost them the match so you could then beat the other group down? So what, you could take the titles just from them?
Right.
I guess that was where I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm with it. It's the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins was walking around on crutches all weekend, selling it like a mother.
Mhm.
But
I love
I'm just
that.
like, I hope again. I just hope Raw gets it together because the SmackDown tag division I like it. It's good between Los Garza, them, Pretty Deadly. Like that's a pretty stacked tag team division.
Mhm.
I need to know what Raw finna do because A-Town Down ain't gonna cut it.
Oh, I'm so glad they didn't. They were nowhere.
A-Town Down bad.
today.
A-Town Down Under ain't gonna cut it. They're not gonna cut it.
Wow.
So glad they were
Yeah,
nowhere.
but I like the match. I wish they would have got. I'm glad they got to defend their titles because they haven't been on a PLE.
Let's see on a
in
PLE. Yeah.
6 months or something like that. I'm glad they got to defend, but I hope they show up at Elimination Chamber so that way they get what they deserve. But even then, another gimmick match. So like, will they get the love they deserve at
And
a
I
gimmick
think that's
match?
another thing they got to figure out is like the non-Rumble matches because like when people go to Rumbles and travel, it's usually just for those matches and that's that. And so it's hard to like, how do we fill out the rest of this where people legitimately care?
True, but they also did well this year because there were only 2 non-Rumble matches and both of them kind of meant something, as opposed to like 3 or 4, which they've done in the past. Which is
I
like,
was
okay, I don't care about
I
these
wonder
matches.
though, do people really want that break in between the men's and women's match, or would they rather have like 2 matches where they go to bathroom, concession, whatever, and then another
You
Rumble?
gotta
Like
have the
I
breaks
did
because the
appreciate
Rumble
knowing when I was
matches.
gonna like take a break.
You gotta have the breaks because the Rumble matches on
Yeah,
its own are like close to
Damn.
an hour just because of entrances, eliminations, and then when you have all 30 come out, then you have the rest of the Rumble matches. So to have them even close to back, you kind of need the break. Otherwise, if you have them back to back, then I don't care about the rest of this.
right.
yeah, that's no. I just mean, should it just be the 2 matches, or should they have the breaks? Like, should it just be the 2 Rumble matches? That is the pay per view.
I think they need to still have the 4 or 5 matches because then I'm spending like $1,000 on like 2 matches and then to be chilling in like Lucas Oil for like an hour and a half in between. Like nah.
Valid,
And
valid.
that's where it's a rock and a hard place and they just got to figure that out a little better. Like there's been
They
years
need,
where
they need
they
to leave
figured it
it
out
for one night,
well.
4 or 5
Like
matches, and that's it.
yeah, like there's
Yeah,
been years where
Night
they
Rumble's
get it
gonna work.
right. Like I think of like the 2017 Rumble where you had Charlotte Bailey, you had AJ Styles, John Cena for the title, you had Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens for the title, and then you had the men's Rumble. And then you could have taken Sasha and Nia out and put the women's Rumble there instead, and that's like an all-time like great ass Rumble,
I agree.
like
I like
Rumble
the
card. They
Rumbles.
can do that.
I like the Rumbles with the titles involved because then I like to see people who don't win enter into the match.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a fun point to me. I'm like,
Mhm.
I think that they should bring that part back
I
too. Them
hate
not
that
having
with
that.
a passion.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
if
I
you
think
wrestle for a title, you don't get a title match.
yeah. Hold on, like Pablo. I like the idea, but say that for a couple of years because then my mind automatically goes back to 2022 when Brock lost the title,
Bruh,
then
that was
hijacked that
great.
Rumble and
Yeah.
won it.
No. We're still
And-
scarred. Let's give a
yeah,
break.
like
Give a
nah.
break.
I
Let's
need
give
a
a
couple
break.
years away from if I lost, I'm popping back in this Rumble and trying
But
to
I
get it
like
back.
it randomly, just like I like randomly when Nia Jax would enter into the men's rumble and then get her ass beat and then get thrown out. Like everyone, give me one per decade and I'm cool.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
All right, let's put Jordan in the men's Rumble next year.
No, I think
I'm
those
hit-
days are done though.
I guess because it like we know it's not gonna lead to
Yeah.
like the shock of it all.
It's not
Kind
gonna
of
lead
Like
to
Lana
anything.
actually was the only one who we thought could win. She was
could
number
actually,
30.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, they teased
right.
that stuff.
That's true.
So for a rapid fire to end our Royal Rumble after party, everyone grade this year's Royal Rumble PLE 1 to 5 compared to all the other ones. I'll
All
start with
30.
you, Christy. How did this PLE? How do you rate this PLE 1 to 5?
4.2.
Okay. Valid.
4
Justin?
overall, 5 for the winners.
Ooh.
5 for Jay. 3 for Charlotte.
Nah, Charlotte gets a 5 too.
Definitely like a strong 4.
Mhm.
I'm still not that having Logan Paul eliminate Punk was lame. Sorry.
That really blew mine.
I just
too.
think that was no, because they don't need to fight. Don't do that.
I was like, ooh, Punk about to beat ass.
Yeah, I don't need him. Don't get distracted from the goal, baby, because
I
Logan
was
Paul's gonna
just
be
like,
nowhere near a title scene right now.
Yeah.
Let him go do something with the Intercontinental. And then overall for the winners, 5 for Jay. I'm gonna go 4.8 for Charlotte because again, love that she won. Not mad that she won. Just what are we doing with Rhea? Please, like, let me know. What are we doing with Rhea?
Agreed. If I had to, I would say a strong 4.5 just because I enjoyed this men's rumble more than I have the men's rumble in like years. And it had me on the edge of my seat. And I think the winners, I'm totally okay with the winners. I get that a 5 too.
Let's say 5.1 because this was one of the rumbles that I don't mind talking about forever for a while because it was that damn good.
Yeah, this is an all timer. This is one where I'm like, damn, should have went. I wish I would have had a little leaky leak so I could have seen who was on that list. Because damn, should have went. Even though my mom didn't come back, AJ ain't come back, but
First of all, I'm so glad AJ Styles is back with his old music. Thank
Me
you, God.
too, because
Thank
that,
God.
that new shit was not it, yo.
Thank you, God.
Can I ask one more question before we go? Is it
Mhm.
time to give up the AJ Lee coming back? Like
It's
delete?
been time.
I've been retired that woman has made it clear she does not have any interest in wrestling. Yet all you musty ass fans ask for this every year.
Hey,
Like
leave me
she's made it
alone.
clear, no.
Yeah,
It's
me
no
alone.
today. It's no tomorrow. It's no next month. It's no next year. What are you not understanding?
You know what got me?
Never situation.
You know what got me? I did rewatch Heels today, and it was the episode she was in, and I was like, you can bump a little, just a little bit, like
clearly,
don't go
clearly,
crazy.
you know what's
Yeah,
up.
like it's a little. Like, I'm
I
like,
think
cut
it's when I honestly feel like it's one of those when the fans stop predicting it so bad, she'll pop up. Like
she'll
I
do
think
a
if we
punk
just
thing. She'll be
if
gone for
everybody
10
just
years.
calm down a little bit, right? Like where we are when it literally feels like it came out of nowhere. This year feels like it's predictable, especially when she popped up in Indianapolis. But I feel like in a couple years when literally everyone gave up on her coming back is when she's gonna come back.
I think this is the year everybody gives it up, and then I think it
Yeah.
makes it so she'll be like, all right, I'll do it now.
Yep.
Like I think she's gonna be. I think here's what I'll say. I think we'll see her in wrestling again. As far as in ring, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let it die now though. I'll let the in ring part die. Tonight killed it for me, but
Less than
Yeah,
5%
tonight is the
chance.
last night where I'm actually like I would bet money she would come. Now
Yeah.
I'm like I do know.
but shout out Roxanne for paying tribute though with the gear.
Yeah.
'cause
that was cute.
Less than
I thought
5%
Mother
chance.
was-
Like AJ Lee is also someone that cares about mental health. And if you go back to those times where her mental health was not good when she left wrestling, like it's more than just getting in the ring and doing the
Yeah.
bumps with her. Which is
Yeah.
why I'm saying like no. Because for her it's
Right.
like it's much more than that. And there's like if you do your Googles and do your homework, you see why she left for a reason.
And she's
And like her
fulfilled and-
legacy is so strong though, because it's like it's in Roxanne, it's in Cora, like it's the people that are gonna be like AJ are there. So it's like I'm okay. I will always want her back just because I just feel like most women aren't cutting promos like her. Like nobody's touching that lady on the mic, and I would love to
Agreed.
see her go toe to toe with literally anybody to make them better.
And then with the freedom with the Triple H era now too.
Yeah.
like, that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
like I would love to see her go toe to toe with any of those women on the mic. It would be fun, but yeah, I've given up the in ring portion. I don't think it's happening, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I've always been okay with it, but I'm really okay with it now.
Same. Well, thank y'all for coming on for the Royal Rumble after party randomly, but I feel like we had to talk about it because this felt like one of the biggest Rumbles in a very, very long time. Thank you, everyone who joined us tonight, everyone that kept the comments alive. We still want to know what y'all think of this year's Royal Rumble. We will be recording a new episode this week, so call that TWG hotline. What's the number, Krista?
929-269-2501.
Yes, we still want to know your hot takes.
You
about
gotta
this
record
year's
that.
Royal
She got a whole
Rumble.
jingle for this shit.
I know.
I'm listening to Mike Jones.
Yes. But we are still going to be recapping the biggest Royal Rumble ever at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. So call the hotline. Let us know your hot takes about the event. Make sure you follow and subscribe all of us on social media, especially those wrestling girls. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and all of the above. And thank you to crew for joining us for this like random collision. We love y'all, and we will catch y'all this week.
I have a special gift. I want to give a shout out first to King Letty. We started this in March. I want to give a shout out to the guy, Brandon Guy, for making this happen. I want to give a shout out to Medina. Where's Ciendall at? I want to give a shout out to Ciendall. And I want to give a shout out to Brother Hugh. And also, Brother Hugh and Brother Brandon, y'all think y'all slick because these have been done for a couple of days and they knew I was stressing, but they kept it to themselves. And I'm sitting there talking to King Letty. I'm like, hey, I got updates. I'm trying to make this work. So, ladies.
Oh my gosh!
Congratulations on 5 years. Well deserved. As you see, both of y'all have removable side plate, but it's only right that y'all each have each name on both of them.